So if you're like a lot of people, you'll have something in your life that you're not happy with, not content with, an experience you're having that you'd like to have, that you'd like to be different, reactions that you'd like to have more control over, just things that perhaps you'd like to improve upon. And if you're into self-development, you may have come across NLP and studied NLP. And there's a useful idea in there, a presupposition that you'll probably be familiar with, which is the map is not the territory. And what that's essentially saying is, just like your sat-nav is not the same as the road you're driving on, there are differences. You know, the sat-nav won't know the terrain, the shape of the road, you know, what kind of trees are at the side, you know, all that kind of stuff, the detail, the reality. All it does is show a zoomed out version in very simple terms. And just the same way that we interpret the world, that we see things, you know, all the sights, sounds, feelings, sensory information comes in, and our brains filter out all the extraneous stuff and then give us a representation of what's happening. And it does this because if you were to really pay attention to everything that was going on at any one time, you probably wouldn't be able to do a lot. Your brain would be overloaded. So it does this for a reason. And so when you're having experiences that you don't like and you're having reactions that you don't like, it's actually just your understanding in that moment which is making that happen. And it doesn't always feel like that. Sometimes it feels like it's real, like it's the thing itself making you feel that way, but it never is. It's always the world and the situation as it occurs to you, as you perceive it. Just like when you're standing at the top of a mountain, looking down at the surroundings, it's a very different perception to if you were standing right at the foot of the mountain. Different place, different perception. The same as when you're in a situation, if you're standing in a different place or doing something slightly different, you would have a different response to that. So the map is not the territory. It's a great idea and one I've known for many years now. And at times, I'm very good at understanding that and making that real and giving myself more choice. But there's always something missing. Like I say, it was more of an idea than something I took on board and made part of me. And it's not until more recently that I'm really starting to get under that and make it real. And the thing that's made a difference for me is the owner-victim distinction. Because at any moment you can be an owner or you can be a victim. And when you're an owner, you've always got that moment of choice of doing something differently than you've done it before. No matter what anybody says to you or does to you, you can always choose how to respond. Even if it's just a split second, you've got that choice. But a victim deletes the choice. A victim will just react. And in any situation, you've got a choice of being a victim or an owner. And sometimes I'm an owner, and I'm an owner as much as I can be. And other times I'm a victim. You know, any habitual behaviour is victim behaviour. And I've got a lot of habitual behaviours that I'm getting rid of. And over time, I've developed ways of getting rid of them and ways of bringing more ownership into my life. And this is an ongoing process for me. But the reason that I'm doing this video now out of a conversation I was having about the map is not the territory, and there's a difference between having an idea of what something is and making it part of you and bringing it into your life. So if you want to do that, if you want to bring more awareness into your life, there are a couple of basic ways to do it, which are good ways to start. Now, one of them is to look back at something that's happened to you. Maybe just after you've had an argument, you've been upset. Take a look at it from different angles. Look back over your behaviour and think about what you could have done differently. Write down 3 to 5 different things you could have done. Just start to create that sense of choice within you. And then when you're in the moment, as much as possible, ask yourself one simple question. What do I want to create? That one simple question is powerful. And the more you can shift to creation, the more you'll have ownership of your life and your reactions and your experience of life. So I encourage you to give that a try if you haven't done so already, or maybe you have and it hasn't worked, maybe you have and it has. If so, please comment below. I'd like to know your experiences of it, and I'd like to continue a conversation with you.